Live. I'm going to go ahead and officially begin. Welcome. So, just really fast, if you guys have not had a chance to listen to the live call today, I encourage you to. I have a cousin and she goes by Yvonne, and this name is, and I hope I'm saying it correctly. It's Ivano or Vino, or I hope I'm saying that right. It's Yveno. So I hope I'm saying the name here correctly. But had emailed me some calls to make, just two. And the first one was a woman that constantly hung up. So if you didn't listen to today's calls, I called the first woman and she hung up on me, just like said. And I called her back and I got a fax machine. I thought, okay, interesting. So I tried back on a third time. And on the third time I tried back, she picked up and I just said, I'm trying to reach so-and-so. And she said, who's calling? So I introduced myself. And we actually had a lengthy conversation. And she's asked to see the contracts, and this is hard because is she going to sign them or does she just need to see them? Again, it's one of those bridges where she said she's been in the hospital. We had, and I got her talking for quite a while today. I would go ahead and just send her the contract, just send them out and get them to her, and then at that point, follow up with her with the little cover letter and just tell her you can have a notary show up at the house. And at that point, go ahead and see if you can get her to sign. You might have to invest. You could either do it on a USPS envelope, or you could just go and FedEx it over there. Don't arrange for the notary until she agrees to sign. I asked her if I could follow up again on Friday, and she said, yeah, that would be fine. Then with Vera, and Vera, I would have called two on yours, but I'm sorry, I didn't have your number handy. I called the guy I spoke to the other day, and he said to me, no, you never said to call. I never told you to call back. And I said, you know what? You're right. And Evelyn, I'm going to go and mute you out because I can hear you pretty loud. Or someone I can hear pretty loud. Okay, so I said, you know, you're right. I asked you if I could call back. You never told me to just call back. I asked you if I could call back. And the guy and I went round and round, and he was saying, you know, why do I need you? And I said, okay. And Vera is saying, okay, I'll go and go 4%, 3% on him. And I'm thinking, you know what? I want to get her a 4%. So I was negotiating 4%, and I thought, you know what? 3%, she would probably still get $12,000. That's still a pretty good payday at the end of the day. I mean, he's got several funds. He's got 3 something, and then he's got so pretty close to 400 grand. I'm like, you know what? I'd be happy if it was me, and even if I got 10 grand. Why am I, you know? So I said, can I get you 3%? He's asked for a couple of references. Vera, do you have anyone that you've done business with that you could use as a reference?
Well, I guess not particularly the real estate, but I've done other businesses. I didn't think about that.
Like what?
Well, it's been like multi-level marketing type stuff and building teams.
So have you gotten anyone paid that has been owed money to at all? Or, you know,
no, not like that. Mm-mm.
Okay, what about in real estate? Have you gotten someone who's been like cheated out of a property or getting cheated out of a property, you got them paid, or they were going to go up for foreclosure and you saved it and you got them some money? Have you done anything like that?
No, we haven't. We haven't gotten that. And even
okay. Since I'm part of this deal, I'm going to go ahead and send you 2 references that I have that I think I'm safe to use at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and mail you those, and I probably won't get them to you until tomorrow. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to email those to you.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and have you send him a cover letter just saying that you'd really like to represent him. There's so many contracts. I want to say we should fill out the contracts, but at this point, I think we should just follow up with them one more time before we do so. And it's hard. Like, wait, Vera, yeah, yours is the one I'm looking at. I'm also thinking of Natasha. I'm not sure if she's on here. I'm getting yours and hers deals mixed up, but I'm on the right deal here. So yeah, you'll send him a cover letter. I would send him something that'd be really nice to share that just said, his name's Johnson, right? Whatever his first name is. I'm sorry. I don't say any further.
Okay.
Just send him and guys, this is confidential on here. You guys are just respecting this, but just send him a letter just saying, hi, my partner David and I have been working with you on the overage of funds that you have available to you. We'd love to represent you. Here are 2 people that have been paid satisfactory, and I'll go and I'll get you 2 names on that. You go and send that off, and then in the next day or 2, and then I'd follow up with them within a week. In fact, if you want, we could follow up with them next Monday and see if we could do this under contract. Yes, he's a stubborn old, you know what? Yes, he's acting up. Yes, he's a hard guy to deal with. I got a lot of people say, man, what a beep, what an idiot, what a man, he was, you know, and he was. But you know what's interesting is, guys, I have ridden people like this before. I know that sounds bad, but I've called them. I've called them again. I've called them again. Yes, I've been told where to go, but I've gotten deals like this. This is such a high deal, and it's such a high stake deal. And I mean, I'm saying, shoot, if she gets 12,000 on this deal, and if she got 12,000 in another couple months, she got another 12,000, and if she's getting, I mean, averaging 6,000 a month, 6,000 a month, that's a pretty good payday at the end of the day, and that's a lot of money, and that adds up. And if she keeps on working on deals like that, that's what she's, I mean, I don't know what her goals, I'm sure she emailed me her goals, and I probably have them, I don't know them off the top of my head, but that's what we're trying to teach you to do in this course. We're trying to teach you how to fish, how to get out there and get these kind of leads and bring them in. And sometimes the most difficult ones, and I'm glad because we've hit a few here, but sometimes some of the most difficult ones are the ones that when you reel them in, you get a nice payday. So are you ready to send them a cover letter there if I get you a couple references that you can use?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. Okay, very good. So let's go and do that, and we'll get him a reference letter, and then we'll keep on writing this. This is going to be interesting because this is going to be a few more phone calls, and hopefully we get him to agree to let us do the deal.
Right. I was looking at that where he was asking for the contracts, and it looks like it would be 63. It looks like it's per claim is each claim is one contract. Am I right? Or one form?
Yeah, they have it on there where it gives you a place to fill out additional ones, and you could fill out some additional ones that, you know, there's a place on that on the form if you look at it. And this is something where I'll be honest with you, I've not done multiple contracts with, I've gotten people paid on state leads, but I've not done like that many deals, but there's a place to fill it out, and I can help you look that up and find that if you need me to as well.
Okay. All right.
And then you want to do the canary paper, and you want to get that sent in, and I would FedEx that and just get them printed off and FedEx it out to him, make sure that all the information's accurate. We're going to have some problems because some of those accounts, they may go back and want him to show proof that he's there, because I've had that before with people where I've had to go back and show them that they were part of an escrow account or part of a certain account, and that can also be hard to do. So it's just proving everything, but that big one, I mean, let's get him paid on that. I know he's saying, what about my small ones? Well, we'll try the small ones too. We'll try to, even that 57 Discover one, 57 cent, we'll try to get him paid on that as well, you know. Just get him all the money that he has coming.
We'll start high and go low.
Absolutely. I'm in agreement with that, and put them all in order, and just send them off to him and see what he says. Cover letter. So, Ro, that's a good question. I used to just use a regular sheet of paper. I used to use a beige sheet that was nice, and I used to use not a full envelope, but like a invitation style envelope that was also beige. And I would just, when I used to do my probate letters, I would just put them, I would type up, and I would put like, I would just put like case number and how I got their information up on top. This is way back in another life when I used to be an investor, but I would type these out in a nice ink, and I would just say, hi, my name is David, and I came across this property. If you need to sell it, go and do that. So in a cover letter, we're going to do something similar. I've had to give people in this business references. Usually I give them to them on the phone. They call, they do something. And more, you're going to be asked for references. So if we get this guy paid, and I guarantee you he's not going to want phone calls for references, but if we get this guy paid, hopefully we can agree to get him to do a video or something like that, or we get him to be some sort of reference for Vera to be able to use in the future. Also, that's why you guys should be using relatives and other people, because you don't want to lie, because you're going to say, oh, you know, your sister or brother says, oh, yeah, they got me paid, or you tell them to be ready to say it. They're going to forget when the phone rings. They're going to say the wrong thing. The story's not going to match. So you want the testimonies to actually be authentic and real. But if you got your sister paid, even if it's $10, hey, you got your sister paid $10, it's good. As long as you're getting people paid and you're getting people money, that's what the most important thing is. And then they can use that you can use that as a testimony. And then you're building up your other case. You always want to get people on video as much as possible. And I can have Spencer do a phone call, coaching call one day on how to put people on video, because he's kind of the man. I mean, I could get people on video, but Spencer's, like, as you guys all know, he's the master at getting people up on video on that. But I think that would be a good route to go for yours. So we have a couple here. We have the first one that I called, and then we have yours, and then Natasha, and I saw her on, I think she's on the coaching call as well. She also got she followed up. So last week we called her lead, and I got a hold of what I thought was the brother, but apparently when she called, if I recall right, it was actually the son of a deceased father, and I think he had the same name as a brother. And you know, he asked her if he could do it without her, and you're going to get asked that occasionally. And this is where, when I get deals like this and I have nibbles, I always act like I have none. So when I'm in sales and I'm working for myself, I wake up every single day like I have no deals out there. And if you have a good CRM, and I've shown you on a previous coaching calls how to do a CRM, and if Podio, and go to YouTube and look at it, because we're not going to have time to get through this tonight. But if you have an accurate CRM, imagine Natasha goes into her CRM and she has on Wednesday to call this guy back. And she has another guy she's calling back on Wednesday, and a gal she's calling on Wednesday. So Wednesday she's got 2 or 3 return calls plus her 10 calls. That's when you start really getting the deals to come in. And I act like I don't have a deal until I get paid. Even if it's a huge deal, someone signs up and they're $100,000, I'm getting 10% of that. So I'm getting 10,000, great payday. I act like I'm not getting paid until after I see that check come in the mail, because you never know when they're going to back out. Maybe something didn't go right at the state. And unfortunately, it happens in this business. So you want to keep it going, and you want to keep that fire burning. I've had people get deals in here, and I know I've said this before, and they call me and they say, hey, David, I got a deal. What do I, and I just signed it, just got notarized, it just got out. What do I do next? I'm like, okay, be working on your next deal. And actually, if you're doing this right, sometimes you're going to get 2 or 3 deals in 1 week. I mean, if you're really managing your CRM, because look, I'm not calling people right now. And in the last 3 weeks of phone calls, the last 3 phone calls I've done, I have 3 pending, not really deals, but potential deals going on right now. I would be working those as well as my 10 calls today, my 10 calls tomorrow, my 10 calls on Thursday. And you're going to get, that's where I'm saying you're going to get deals. There's too much happening, like too many nibbles and too many people coming up and too much fighting going on for us not to reel one of these in. So Natasha's going to have to just call the guy and just say, hey, you know what? And I would have all, Natasha, I think you're on. I think I saw, are you on, Natasha? Yeah, you're on. Okay, very good. So Natasha, in your situation, if the guy asks you, so the guy asked me at one point if I worked for the bank. I never directly answered him. I kept on asking him questions. I am your business partner. We do this for a living. And did he ask you any weird questions? I know we've been emailing each other back and forth on this. Has he asked you any weird questions or put us on the spot at all?
One thing he did say was like, he was like, what company do you work for? And I said, that was one thing I was going to ask you, was because I said I'm an independent contractor, but I also work for surplus funds. Was that the right answer?
You can say that, and that's fine. If someone puts in surplusfunds.com, they're probably going to see a video of Spencer, and that might be a red flag for them. Eventually, you guys are going to want to open up a corporation. But I would say, since I'm on this and I'm in here with you on this, and I might be helping you out with the contracts on this one, the name of my corporation is just JD Vista. You could just say I work with JD Vista, and that's just, but basically you're still an independent contractor. I mean, that's the name that I put it under, and it's kind of nice because I don't have to disclose my social. I use the EIN number with JD Vista. And again, get a couple of deals. You know what? I've been in contact with Laughlin and Associates. They're supposed to get me a link. I've asked them to be able to have a link that we could just put up on the Facebook group, where if you guys want to set up a corporation, it's a little pricey through them. But if you want them to do the minutes and stuff, they'll do it for you. Or you could just, I know some people emailed me and said, hey, I did mine online. Great. And I know there's a lot of, I tried to do mine online one time and something happened where it didn't go through. But eventually, yeah. And that's what I said, exactly what you said in the beginning is what I always said, especially when I first did surplus funds and I was cold calling people. I would just say, I'm an independent and I do this. And how that was the first question I got is, who do you work for? How did you get my information? I would say, well, this is public record. I help people. I track down people and I help them get paid, and I'll be paid in the process is what I say to people. Generally, people, once you build that rapport with people start getting okay with that, and you start smoothing that down where you get really comfortable saying it. And sometimes you're going to have to like nudge people and call people back, and that's what's happening. So yeah, so did that answer your question, first of all, Natasha?
Oh, yes, it did. And you know what the thing is that I actually do have an LLC.
That, absolutely. And have you registered the LLC?
Oh, yeah, it's registered with the state of Georgia and everything. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, okay. Oh, this is right. What state were we working? Was it Alaska?
Yes.
Okay. Have you registered that with when you register in Alaska? Do you use your personal name or your LLC?
That's what I don't know how to do, to be honest with you. I didn't register. I don't know what to do with the rest of
Okay. Have you seen our lead stash? Okay, so we put together a matrix with all the states on it, how to register with the state and how to collect surplus funds with those states and the contact info. You haven't seen that?
Is that the NAMPU site?
Yeah, but we put a more current one together. I'm actually emailing it to you right now so that you have. I'm emailing our tech support gal where she could send you. You'll see what I'm talking about. So you haven't registered with the state of Alaska at all?
No.
Okay.
Do you mind sending that to me, Kyle, too? Because I can't. I just found out today I can't do Boston.
Okay. And if you guys don't have the lead stash, go ahead and email me. And I will go ahead and I will get you that. Actually, you can email the support for that. I don't mind if you guys email me, but you can email support. A lot of my emails, like you guys will notice that support will pick them up. And if it's like a question, like usually if it's a technicality on a property where something happens, like what we're discussing now, this is where I get involved a lot with emails. If it's something like a lead stash or something like that, info@surpluslist.com, and just please get me the lead stash. That's usually sufficient enough. Okay, so guys, I know that the first several minutes of the phone calls I've gone on just these potential deals. I was hoping one person was on. I don't see him on tonight. I wanted to just if Seth was on, I was going to ask him. I know he hasn't been paid, but I know he's gotten a lot of deals. I kind of wanted to hear from him tonight. But so in the last 3 weeks, we've gotten some potential, and one thing that if I had learned in this business from the beginning, I wish if I can go back, it would have been that I would have known how to follow up phone call. I mean, I was scared enough to make the phone calls in the very beginning, and usually if someone like that one guy said, no, I'll get it myself, I would have totally had left him alone. And what I've learned from people going on through the years is if you that guy just needs to be nudged. He's a hard head, and he just needs to be tackled and just said, hey, we're going to do this for you and let us hear. I mean, he may say no, we can't control it, but again, he's got a lot of money, and we're saying, hey, let us do this and keep on. And that's an addition. So again, this is where you get the majority of my deals have been in the follow-ups, and that's something I've learned a lot. So I'm really glad we've experienced this, because there's a group of people that are moving along with this or seeing this. And I hope that it's contributing and making more to your success as you're beginning to call people. And also, guys, like I can tell you right now, like I just look at people and I just watch people in here. And always, Spencer and I, when we sit down and we'll meet, I'll say, I just look at people. They send me their goals. They've gone through the whole course. They join the Facebook group. They get on the Facebook group. They post. They ask questions. They send stuff. Those are the people that I see that are buying into the program, that are successful. Some people come in and they're waiting for one of us to make a mistake. They're waiting for an error. They're waiting for an excuse. It's like, okay, if you join this program and you quit tomorrow, what have you learned? What have you really gotten out of it? But if you've applied it, you've actually made the phone calls, you've actually done your due diligence, you've gone forward with it. Are you really? I mean, people that I see that are doing that are growing. They get something out of it. I mean, if someone wants to fail at it or they're waiting to fail, you're going to fail. I'm telling you that right now. But if you come in, you give this your all in, even if you're not making 10 calls a day, but you're making 5 calls a day. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm real big on the 10, as you guys know. But even if, how many calls did I make today? I made 5 and I have 1 potential deal. I made 4 or 5 calls, and I'm trying to interact with you guys a lot more. David, do you recommend starting a brand new Facebook account for this business? Absolutely. You can do that, Freedom, and you can put it into your Twitter account. It's not Twitter, LinkedIn account as well. That would be good, but absolutely, why not? And then be directing people to it. Archie, and I know I need to get you some websites. I'm going to look them up. I know you asked me websites. Google websites that are doing it. Look at other people that are doing it, and see what websites are. Unclaimed funds. Do you have unclaimed property? Start leading people to you. Why not? Again, I've not marketed that way. I'm teaching you guys the way that I've marketed, but I know every little bit matters. How do you decide who to follow up on and who not to follow up on? So, Audrey, the best advice I can give you is to go with your gut there. It's really interesting. When I made my first phone call and that lady hung up on me and I tried her back, I didn't know if she would answer the phone. I didn't know if she'd take it off the hook, or I think I dialed the same number when her fax machine went on. You know, and I think she was being playing a little hardball there. But again, just go with your gut, start learning your gut, trying things out. I would rather try something. I mean, if you say I can't, you're usually right, and you can't because you're not even going to try. But if you start trying, and like, let's say the guy I called on Vera's second call today, which I made a second phone call for her today. Let's say that he asked me not to call him back. If I put that in my CRM and I go 3 weeks ahead, so I'm now in the middle of July, and I go back and I look at that account, and if I see that he still has that money there, why not call him back? You know, why not be stubborn as he's being? I mean, that's doing this. So, yeah, but my best advice for you is to just go with your gut, I hope that makes sense. Do we have an informational brochure webpage type of surplus funds and state funds that we can use? Do we have an informational brochure webpage? Ro, we do not. I would just say go ahead and look at other people's web pages and Google it. I put some like on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You know, I always post either a article on someone with surplus funds, or I post a YouTube video. If you logged onto the live call-in today on Facebook, you probably noticed that I was listening to a YouTube video on motivation, which is going into Wednesday's post, by the way, and it was just talking about succeeding, and you can do this, you can do this. I need to build myself up before a phone call, because when I'm cold calling someone and saying, hey, you have funds, especially when I have people listening that are expecting me to be able to do something and learn from me, I'm going to be honest with you. I have the gun on me. You know, I've got to psych myself up like I can do this. I can do this. I have to try to pretend like you all are not there, but I know that you all are there and interacting with you. But I've got to try to connect with that person like I don't have an audience. And I know I talk loud. I talk fast. I've even gone through and I've looked at myself. I'm like, okay, I need to slow down here. My whole family talks fast, but like I'm learning a lot from myself because as I go back and I listen to this, because I've never done this before. But yeah, just learning from this and being able to go forward and really looking at this. So I hope that helps with that. Okay, so cover letter, I went ahead and I went over. Congratulations, Ro. I want to ask you about that in a second here, about that. All right, thank you for that, Freedom. Yeah, absolutely, Freedom. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, Trina. Okay, cool. Trina. Okay, I didn't know. I'm getting used to all this. So yeah. So okay, that's cool. Hey, Ro, tell us. Anyone else have any other deals? Ro said he's got he's sitting out a contract tomorrow. Does anyone else have any other potential deals going on?
I get it. You do an excellent job because I realize all eyes are on you.
I'm sorry. What was that? I heard somebody, but you got cut off. Okay, so guys, and any other deals that are going on right now?
I have 3 contracts I sent out. I'm just waiting to get them back.
Okay, Kyle, are they surplus funds or are they state funds?
Surplus funds.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I got your email about that, and I know that gets a little frustrating. Yeah, it gets a little frustrating sometimes as you're waiting for contracts and the follow-up. I get it, man. And you might just want to contact Teresa and just say, hey, I sent these contracts out, and here's what I'm waiting for.
2 of them I mailed.
Okay.
2 of them I mailed, 1 of them I emailed. But the funny part is the 2 that I did, they're still at the house. They're actually still in the house, the ones that I mailed.
Those are good because a lot of times they don't know yet. And they move out or something happens, and that's good, man. They're at the house, so
yeah,
that's good.
Well, I know one of them's in a bad position right now with money because he's actually in the process right now of moving. So I'm hoping out of the 3, that one seems like he's, you know, because just because people get contracts doesn't mean they always send them back. But I'm hoping that one he's going to do. He says he's going to do it, but saying it and doing it is 2 totally different things.
So if you look at every success story that I've put up on every single one, like today I put up, I think it was one of the states that had an overage of funds is what I put up today. But if you look at every single person that says they've retrieved funds, like I say every week, the one common denominator that they have is they always think it's fraud. Like they think that each and every single one of these is fraud. So yeah, so you're having to convince people that you're the real deal, and I mean, I've had people tell me like, I thought you were gonna. I was waiting for the gimmick. I was waiting for the catch. I almost every single deal, even back in real estate deals, you know, like I had a guy in Texas one time that had people taking advantage of him that I got him paid. I had a woman with a probate in Moreno Valley that I got paid, and I had other people, and it's like they all said, you know, people were taking advantage of me. And when you can convince people and then build that up and really convince them, and it's hard, and it's I don't want to say that this is easy work, and I never try to make it sound like it's easy because it's not, but you can make this into a habit. And Audrey, I'm looking at what you're posting, and I feel for you there because I've been a teacher, and but if you can make this a habit where you're waking up, and the biggest thing that I want to say that I've noticed in this business is like right now, if you're listening to what I'm saying and if you're looking at your cell phone, at most you're going to retain 50% of what I say. If you do a multitask with your cell phone, meaning that if I'm saying something and someone says, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? And you say, oh, let's go here. And you want to involve someone else. So you think about who else to invite. At most, you're going to retain 15 to 25% of what I say. And I say that because my biggest enemy in this business was me. Like when I sat down, I literally should only have one tab open up on my computer. And my wife, she tells me that I'm the master of having tabs open. I can only have one tab open, and I should only be focused on one thing. And my phone would ding on text, and I always want to see who it was. And my father-in-law loves chess and online chess, and he emails me a link. But my biggest enemy in this business and getting over that hurdle on time and everything was me. So I hope that helps on just the focus issue. Audrey, yeah, so I feel for you on that. And Audrey, maybe you could get some people to help you with skip tracing, some family members, some nieces, maybe you can, you know, pay them a little bit, or nephews or something, you know, but maybe you could get something there. And there's a couple ways, and maybe you just want to pay someone to help you skip trace. Hey, Warriors, I totally understand the constraint with working and need to skip trace. Why not check out a virtual assistant on Upwork? And that might be good. Upwork and Fiverr both might be a good place to find that. There's a couple other ones that we've mentioned. So that's great advice. Thank you for that. Hey, Sydney, so if you don't mind, I want to put you on the spot. Guys, we've got about 10 to 15 more minutes here. Afterwards, I'm hoping they're on. There's a group from Georgia that's trying to start their own surplus funds in their area. I want to help them do that. So I've invited them. I don't know. I'm hoping they got my messages because I haven't gotten a reply, but I've invited them to relog onto the coaching call when this ends. I want to tell them how to do that. If you're in a different area and you've thought about doing that, you may want to log back on after this coaching call ends. I do have a family at home, so I'm probably going to go about 15, 20 minutes, but I want to get you guys some information on getting, and there's our 10-minute warning right there. Okay, Sydney, can I put you on the spot? Can you tell us about the deal that you just got? I know nothing about this. So Sydney, you're on mute right now. I just tried to unmute you. Can you hear me okay?
Can you hear me?
I can now. Hi.
Hi, Dave. How are you doing? How everybody? The one I got this evening, I was calling this one guy, and actually it was his mother. And when I called, I got the caregiver, so that let me know she was up in age. And she told me, she gave me the son's number, and she also said she would take the number for the mother to call me back. And of course, the mother wasn't able to. So the son called me back maybe about a half hour or so later, and he said he was aware of it, but because his mother was up in age and needing a lot of care, he hadn't really had time to do it. So I said, well, you know, I'd be happy to do that for you. He says, well, I know I've got others out there. So when I looked, he must have the mother rather, had about maybe 7 or 8 other claims out, and these are all state funds. So wow. I told him I'd go ahead and get the contracts out to him, so I'll be mailing them out to FedEx tomorrow.
Awesome. Congratulations, man. Hey, congratulations, man. That's awesome. So, and you said the highest one was for 5,000?
No. The property, I'm sorry, the main one that I was initially calling about was 81,000. But then when he had me looking, there were others. There was one for 15,000, one for 35,000, one for $700, one for 103, one for $70, something like that. So it was a nice little chunk of money that he's going to be getting back as well.
So that's at least 40,000 right there. So is this I'm assuming this is California, so you're going to get 10% of that?
Right, this is California, correct.
Okay, congratulations, man. That's nice. And I know, Sydney, I know you've been working really hard. I've seen emails from you. I've seen you on the coaching calls, and I've seen you doing this. So, I mean, that is awesome, and that is huge. Congratulations. How do you feel right now?
I feel good, but, you know, I also want to tell you about the one that I followed up for you. Remember you said you had talked to one of my clients that you called?
She was ugly, but yeah, what happened?
Yeah, she was a little bit ugly, too. Well, first when I called, I got the Ron, the guy that you said to talk to first, because he was really interested. So when I got Ron on the line, he was like, yeah, I'm from New York too. And we're talking it up and everything. He says, well, I'm going to have her call you when she comes in. Well, she never called. So I called back a couple of days later and I got her. She grilled me. She says, that guy I talked to, he was really rude. He hung up on me. He did this. He did. I'm like, okay, man, I'm really, really sorry. I'm apologizing, trying to warm up to her. And finally she says, who are you? How did you get my information? So when I told her it was from public record and everything, she says, I don't know why you people just don't send stuff in the mail. So of course she's old school. I said, well, ma'am, you know, it's like people call these days. They don't really do mail. So she was opposed to any conversation. So I just wanted to mail the contracts to her. I'll see what happens from that.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, what happened is when I called and I got a hold of that guy, Ron, for Sydney, and he was so friendly. I had it on my office line. There was an appointment that showed up for my and we were working and someone was at the house and then she calls and I'm trying to entertain her and I said, can I have my business partner, Sydney? You better not have Sydney or anyone call me back. I don't appreciate you telling people my personal confidential information. I don't like you, right? And I said, okay, ma'am. I said, you know what? I said, for what it's worth, I apologize. Have a nice day. I literally hung up the phone. And then she called me right back, and I knew it was her. And I seldom do this to people, and I fully apologize. And I probably should be saying this on a coaching call live, but she said, I don't appreciate you hanging up on me. I was asking her. I mean, it was more than that. I said, ma'am, I said, you're going to get it twice. I'm in the middle of an appointment. Have a nice day. And I hung up on her twice. I didn't mean to do that. I hated to do that for your call, but literally we're in the process of trying to get my son in some proper placements. He's getting ready for preschool, which is hard for dad, you know. It's like, wow, he's going to be starting to go to school and we're trying to get him into that. And it's just like, wow. But yeah, that's a whole nother story, man. But it's, yeah, good job on following up with that. So Sydney, you're doing really good, man. This is awesome. So I just want to say congratulations, guys. The last week we had a couple people on coaching calls get deals too, but Sydney, congratulations to you. It sounds like you're going to have a nice payday from that one.
Thank you. I hope from hers as well. Hopefully I sent her a nice letter telling her how, you know, don't shoot the messenger, listen to the message. You know, so I sent her some correspondence, so hopefully she'll read that and then see the contracts. If not, I said, if you want to shred them, shred them.
Yeah. Tell her you fired me. Tell her I was your assistant working for you. That'll be
the speak to her again.
Normally, and that's why I've been asking you guys for your phone numbers, and that's why like today, and that's why on Vera's second call I couldn't even finish it because I really need, and I've been emailing you guys before the coaching calls like, hey, can I get your phone numbers because it's really better if they call you guys back directly because when someone calls me and I've talked to people, I'm working with our tech team, I've done other things. Honestly, if I was doing this back full-time calling everyone and what have you, yeah, I'd be remembering every single phone call. But I honestly don't. I mean, I remembered it. I remembered Vera's call from last week, you know, that I made today, and I remembered those. But yeah, congratulations. So, hey, congratulations. I saw. Are you doing the 10 calls a day, or how many calls are you putting in a day?
You still speaking to me, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I've been doing, when I come in from work, it's usually about maybe, it's about under 5 or 7 because sometimes one name could have like 8 numbers.
Uh-huh.
We calling just a couple hours every night after work, but this week I'm on vacation, so I called today about 50 people.
Oh,
I
wow.
have line items of people with multiple numbers, so I called about 50 today, and I plan on doing maybe another amount of that tomorrow. And like I said, I'm on vacation this week, so this is where I'm going to probably get the bulk of my calls in because I've got the time where, as ordinarily, I only have a couple hours in the evenings when I get out of work because I've got 12-hour work days.
Okay. Wow. Congratulations on that. That is awesome. I've worked full time and I've done this. So congratulations to you. I know it's really hard. So yeah. And
that's why I went with the skip traces too, because I was eating up so much of my time trying to find the numbers.
Which skip trace are you using?
I use Upworks.
Upworks. Okay. That's good.
And
Okay.
it's really affordable. I got like about maybe 50 numbers up to 100 numbers for $6.
Oh, wow. So just Upwork.com is what you're using?
Yes.
Okay. And Vera, yeah, I just, Vera, I see your message. I didn't plan on getting to your call today. I thought, I thought that Yvonne or whoever I was calling for this morning. I thought that I put the wrong website here. I thought they had more leads. I wasn't even planning on getting to yours this morning, Vera. So I will have that for next time. All right, and then Ro, I'd like to put you on the spot. You got a deal. Tell us about it really quick here, and then I'll try to get some questions in. Ro, how'd you get your deal? Okay, Ro, can you hear me? Okay, I guess you can't hear me, guys. Let's go and open this up to questions. Are there any questions that you guys have for anyone on or for myself? Okay, did my computer just go blank? It just got completely quiet in here all of a sudden.
Oh, we're here.
Okay, hey, okay, cool. Kyle's here. Guys, any questions before? We've got 2.5 minutes.
The process that you're going to teach these people, we can use the same process in our state?
You should be able to, yeah. We've had people take this to their own states, and you should be able to use it in your own state, yeah.
Okay.
So, Ro, no, I guess we can't hear you because I couldn't hear you at all. Do you have any advice you want to type to the group or anything you want to say to them? Congratulations on your deal. Any hurdles that you had to go over for that, or anything that you found that you feel you could just add value to that you could share with the group? Okay. And guys, we have I don't know if he's typing or not. We have less than a minute. Is our stay consistent. The man wanted to test me about knowing like the address and etc. Okay, well, yeah, nice job, Ro. Hey, keep it up. And I know Ro has had to work hard to get what he got. I don't know if he got it in Texas or California, Ro, but I do know that he has been he's had to get a PI in Texas, and he's had to go through that route. We've looked at some different things and for him to do that, and he hasn't gotten discouraged. He's emailed me some questions, and we've looked at some stuff together, which, hey guys, I love that. I love it when you get stuck and then you come back to us or something, you say, hey, I want to make this happen, because I see fighters, and yeah, he's definitely a fighter in here. So yeah, so okay, cool. So congratulations, and congratulations on that in Texas, and we're really happy. I'm really happy for you, Ro. I know you've worked very hard, and I know it's been, and I know you've had some other struggles. So congratulations on that, guys. Every week we're getting people with deals on here. I love this, man. I mean, this makes me go home and just really in cloud nine. And I love the fact that people are getting deals. I like the questions coming in. I like you guys asking me questions. We'll have our next coaching call Thursday at 10 a.m. That seemed to work for a lot of people last week. So I'm going to try it again this Thursday. Again, when we get disconnected, I'm going to go over some state information. So I think we're going to get cut off here in a second. So, guys, let's go and end this, and give me a minute. I'll log back on if you want to know some state information. I'm hoping the Georgia group is on, and we'll go from there. Have a good night, everybody.